Here we go in our SWC 2024 Europe Preliminary Lower Round 2, Match 2 between ISMOO and ZERATUTUTUH. We're seeing the pre-bans coming out right now. Vanessa and a Neftis coming out.
Yeah, definitely understandable pre-bans right now. Well, against ISMOO, what do you pre-ban? He has so many good LDs these days, so that it's just hard. But the Vanessa is super understandable because that is that core pick that ZERATUTUTUH likes to start off with. So in this case, has to go for the Chandra, whereas ISMOO can comfortably pick up that Cigar and Valajul.
Let's see what ZERATUTUTUH has got cooking for us then here today. There's no Vanessa, which does activate a lot of the things around his box there. Say, are we going to see some more single target damage, or are we going for AoEs today? Sekhmet coming out again.
Another Sekhmet, interesting. For ZERATUTUTUH, like normally I can kind of predict what players are going to do, but ZERATUTUTUH is one of the hardest to predict. We have seen a lot of units come in. We see an early Gianna, so that can signal for ISMOO to go into a Heigang. Very common pick right there as a counter, but also that Julian, which you have seen before, just doing a formidable amount of work.
Definitely does, and there's enough defense breaks around him on the field in the form of Cigar and Valajul to deal some incredible damage. Seimei looking as a response there right now.
Yeah, let's see what he pairs with the Seimei. Does he go back to like a Fire Monkey kind of style, or does he do it more 2-2 style with Irene? Is that an that is an Irene? I have never seen Irene in RTA, and wow, interesting.
Oh my god, that's now 101 monsters, say, at least. Because ZERATUTUTUH has probably brought 25% of the different monsters to our drafting phase at the moment. How do you respond in that situation if you're ISMOO?
ISMOO is probably reading the skills, and I know the skills are a wall of text, so he's probably, he needs all 30 seconds to read that stuff. Like, to be honest, I'm not even sure. I think the skill 3 is like that lock state, which kind of drains HP, and the skill 2 is that like counter of buffs. If you get, or like if you get a debuff, you would flick back that debuff, something like that. I could be very wrong on that, but drops in an Oliver. So let's see if the Irene actually gets through or not.
This all depends on if ISMOO had enough time to read all of those skills, say, because if you haven't, maybe you don't want to deal with it. Maybe you have to ban it out, or going for a Gianna instead. We're going to see Irene coming into the SWC 2024 Europe preliminaries right now, say. Defense lead and speed lead for both these guys. So, wow, match 2, set 1. We've got ISMOO versus ZERATUTUTUH. How is this going to end up? Taking that first and going for the Sekhmet. Can you get the cool time? Maybe likely to go on the Valajul?
Well, if you go on the Valajul right now, the enemy team starts moving because of the Heigang. But the next unit to move is that Irene. Oh, misses the increased cool time. That is not great because your Irene is not on will and therefore will probably be not targeted right now, but something else targeted, pushed back and provoked.
Yeah, and now Heigang can come in to look to get a strip and maybe some stuns and glancing of his own right now. Does get it, and how much damage can you pile in there, Julian? Oh.
That is a good amount of damage coming in from that Julian, but we still have Seimei healing coming in, so there is a little bit of healing, chip healing coming here and there. All of those debuffs right now, they're not too much of a threat, and they will just provide full healing. Maybe the Sekhmet isn't going to be full, though.
Yeah, that's very much taking that turn next right now. Oh, she is going to be full.
Because of that provoke. He landed the wrong element provoke, and Seimei is like, nah, everyone full HP, but we're going back to being stunned.
Oh, allowing Julian to take that second turn right now. Can look to try and get some more damage. Is it going to be enough? 6k hits.
6k hits, but I'm also looking at the Irene. Is she going to be swift or is she going to be violent? Because if she takes a turn in, she could maybe lock out a unit from herself. Is she going to get provoked right now? She does get provoked and an additional turn.
Yeah, I think she might have been also. She was moving very, very fast after that Sekhmet. But let's find out. Can you land another provoke onto that Chandra? Resisted right now.
Resisted, did not take an additional turn. We're still not 100% sure if it is on violent or not. It hasn't been taking any regular turns as of yet. And it's us having these difficulties with getting those turns in.
We can just pile more damage into that Sekhmet right now. Maybe you're looking to put the revive up already.
Yeah, you probably want to put that revive up, and you're definitely looking for a stun right here, because if you don't get it right now, you do get the stun. So is this the moment where we can actually see what Irene was supposed to do here? Resets do land this time. Are you going to get the provoke? Does not get the provoke because of glancing. Irene, skill 3. What are you going to show us?
She's resisted!
Oh, that is not what you want to see. It just absorbed the attack bar, but it was resisted. So it was cooking a lot, but it was not cooking hard enough.
No, it wasn't. We've got that threat state over there as well at the moment.
Yeah, the threat state there is just for a little bit, but I'm not sure where the actual damage is going to come from. I was so focused on the Irene, but in the end, where's the damage? Is the Chandra the damage?
I'm not sure either. Say we can look to land a defense break and set up for Julian to follow straight after. Lands it. Is this going to be enough?
That is most likely going to be enough. Double 19k. That is just so much damage coming in. I also have no clue what the Seimei in combination with Irene, if you were to revive it, combination would do. Does it fully work? Does it not work? I actually have no clue.
This is probably why 222 was testing it before. I hope so for his sake. Say, maybe we find out, but that segment is going to be going down very, very soon.
Yeah, the segment is definitely going down, and this Julian plus the meta units are definitely working very well. Would have been a complete different match if the Julian was actually eaten by the box at that moment. I think we will never find out.
No, maybe not, as Hagan can just look to push back. We're going to get some immunity and cleansing coming out on the side. And Julian, with more defense breaks potentially coming out from Cigar, is going to deal even more damage.
We're looking back at double 19Ks, double 16Ks. That is just so much damage. Every time the Julian sees a defense break, he sees death.
Wow, I like that, say. Yes. Whenever he sees that defense break, he sees death. And for ISMOO, he's seen the point because he's got it against ZERATUTUTUH. Interesting, bringing out a new unit. Didn't quite work out this time.
Yeah, they didn't work out, and that's sometimes with those units. Like, if you bring something new that people don't expect what it does or don't really know what it does, it can work out very well. There's been a few iterations where it worked out very well, and also have been a few iterations if we see just here, it's like, oh, that unit actually did nothing. Why did you pick it? Whereas if it worked out like it was supposed to, it might have been like the most 5-hit pick ever, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're here. Maybe something works, maybe it doesn't. Yonhong being banned out along with that Eleanor. Let's see how ISMOO wants to go for it. He's going to steal that Vanessa, a key comp of ZERATUTUTUH, but he's bringing out a different speed lead to Moe.
Is he going to go for a whole Tomoe Hagen kind of drafting style right here? It is something you see definitely in the lower ranks of RTA, especially last season, but it is also something that people have figured out a little bit. But we're going back to debuffs, and a lot of them. But ISMOO, do you know your counters against debuffs? He's probably looking for his Juno Varomosses. But the big question is, do you want to already lock them in right now? Or you wait a little bit longer? Because I do think that ZERATUTUTUH is expecting a Juno and is expecting a unit like a Varomos right now.
Yep, he's pushing him into a corner, and he has selected the Juno and Veramos away to try and deal with it. That Shahat was doing a lot of work in the previous rounds. We've got here Bella coming out for some more single target damage against those potential units that ISMOO can use to bruise. How will he follow it up?
Yeah, I think he's going to be looking at more and more dots, which is just very interesting to see into a Juno and a Veramos. But a Layla in this case for anti-cleanse would definitely help out a bit, or another different anti-cleanse unit.
Changing it up for a Camilla then, right there. Maybe there's a Beth coming on the card soon as well. Let's find out. How would you respond here? Say it's something so different that you're seeing in front of you from a draft from normal. How do you answer it in this situation?
Yeah, I think going back to comfortable picks is never bad, but maybe try to snipe out something could be an option. It is difficult to say like what would be a best strategy against this, but comfortable picks is probably a good way.
Yeah, so going for that Cigar, going for the Julian as well. Defense breaks are available for that Julian to deal those double 19k damage. What I dare to ask, say, what's coming last here?
I have absolutely no clue. I would say something maybe AoE CC-ish or AoE dots kind of style. There's a lot of options that he could go for, because he does know that the enemy probably has like 3 units without immunity. But then we have an Isis, which I think if you lock it in, it is probably a must ban.
Does he go for it? Isis is coming in. That's another new unit for SWC preliminaries.
That is very interesting. But now the big question is, you probably still have to remove that Cigar, because the Cigar is one of those few things that can control pretty much most of the units on ZERATUTUTUH. So let's see if he actually bans that out. But then you're fighting the Vanessa plus Julian, which is also very dangerous.
Julian coming out then, and Isis as well. So speed leads for both ISMOO and ZERATUTUTUH into our match 2, set 2. ISMOO is 1-0 up at the moment against ZERATUTUTUH. Can he look to reclaim a point, or that Vanessa defense break land and allow Cigar to come in?
Yeah, we definitely have to be looking at how much can the Cigar do, and also which units will you be focusing on. Does go for the Bella, understandable. We have seen in previous matchup how much the Bella can do. Also does provide the pushback and the provoke.
Yep, he's going to be dealing a lot of damage into that Bella right now. Maybe just choosing to go for skill 1. 2.9k damage.
That is a lot of damage coming in. Just skill 1, no crit over there, but still a lot of damage. Plus, all of the dots that you start landing right now are going to be eaten by the Veramos at some point. It does take the additional turn. It does already do a good amount of damage on that Cigar.
His single target damage is out of the field at the moment, so is that Camilla going to be able to get online and do some more work?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question, because you, in the end, you somehow still have to kill the Juno, but the Camilla is there for that reason. But the Camilla stuns along with her 2 companions.
Yep, all stunned there out, allowing Juno to just keep dealing so much damage into the units of ZERATUTUTUH.
Yeah, and there's just more and more stuns coming in, and it's just working out very well for ISMOO right now. Definitely reading the draft and knowing the counters to those units with the Veramos and the Juno.
Yeah, it shows the experience coming into play right now. Can have an answer for something that he may not have been prepared for. Is this an opening now? Can you look to try and get rid of...
It is a good amount of damage, and it's understandable stun plus slow over there. However, it's just hard to get rid of anything, because in the end, the Cigar and the Vanessa were able to just deny the turns of ZERATUTUTUH that early on, that it's just difficult to get those units back in their turns.
Yep, and they're all being pushed back right now, and even Tomoe exiting the battleground right now. Say, we're going to get maybe some more stuns from Veramos?
Yeah, we could be looking at more stuns, but I think you could just simply chip down the Sahat first and then chip down the Camilla, and I think you should be looking at a win from ISMOO's perspective.
Yep, can he provide a defense break? Does land it, and can maybe do some more damage from that Cigar with that skill 1 alone. It's going to be a very uphill battle for that Camilla.
Yeah, Camilla is also one of those units that you have maybe seen doing some solos here and there, but I think there's at some point just too much damage of just every of those 4 units locking in skill 1s. Camilla not taking enough turns, and this should definitely be a victory for ISMOO.
Definitely, and not being able to take a turn is not going to allow her to heal at any point there, say, as well. Just tumbling in as much damage as possible.
Yeah, it's just as much damage as possible, and between the last turn that she took and this turn right now, she's only healing 3k, but she's being damage dealt for half her HP, so she's probably going to be leaving the battlefield in this rotation right now.
Yeah, ZERATUTUTUH was cooking, but it wasn't quite enough against ISMOO, who is an experienced opponent here, taking that 2-0 advantage into our set number 3, a potentially deciding set there. Say, ZERATUTUTUH is coming with some weird, crazy comps, but it's not quite paying off at the moment.
Yeah, it's not exactly paying off, and that is the risky thing of trying something completely new against someone that is so well known in the community, played so many matches, has been to so many SWCs, World Finals even. That is just difficult to pull it off, to like showing something that he's not familiar with. Plus, something is meta for a reason. It is established that it works. If you try something new, it is not established that it works. It could work in like 1 or 2 drafts, but then you play it against another player and you were like, wait, but actually it doesn't work that great. But let's see what ZERATUTUTUH has been cooking for us in the last match, because previous week, a lot of his new stuff did work out very well. Currently, not so much, but we have seen a reverse sweep before. We
see Vanessa and Cigar is not going to come into the picture during this set right now. So we've got Chandra being taken from ZERATUTUTUH. ISMOO looking to respond early then with that Velajul to apply some immunity on the side of the field. There's no Cigar to partner it up with this time, though.
Yeah, it's interesting, and that's also what ISMOO is looking at. Like, okay, wait, normally I like to pick a Cigar in this moment, but I can't. What should I go for then? Because those are the comfortable picks that people like to go for, and that still keeps the draft very open. But we have a Sierra on that side, and I think that ZERATUTUTUH is liking this style of draft maybe a little bit more, because he can go for his comfortable units with an Athna, with that ZERATUTUH right now. But on the other side, we see speed as well in the form of a Yeonhong.
Yeonhong coming into play for ISMOO there right now, and Han as well, so the Dark Speed League coming in. ZERATUTUTUH, again, say, it's hard to call what he's going to be picking here.
Well, it's hard to call, but I do think he either has to go to the Bruiser route, same as that nice Smicer tried before against Han, but didn't really work out as well. Or he has to go for a Speedly plus a high base speed unit, and then fully contest the speeds and try to get 1 or 2 kills before the enemy moves. But in both cases, it's pretty difficult against the powerhouse that ISMOO is showing on the field right now.
Definitely is. Who's his last pick going to be? It's going to be Volantis then coming in to respond against ISMOO. Say, how does he follow it up?
I would say a unit like a Juno has quite a lot of potential in here, because it does counter most of the units that are on the enemy side. But is that going to be the unit that that ISMOO is going to be looking for? And is that also going to be the unit that ZERATUTUTUH will be fearing enough to ban it?
Exactly. This is the mind games. This is potentially the deciding set for ISMOO and ZERATUTUTUH. ISMOO is 2 steps closer at the moment to Berlin, compared to ZERATUTUTUH, but can he look to respond and make a reverse sweep? We've seen it before in the Europe preliminaries from last weekend. Can we see it again here? There's a lot of the French audience that will be hoping for that, but we've got Zeratu being banned out as well as that Juno, so speed leads for both of them going into this matchup. Say it's our SWC 2024 Europe preliminary match 2, set 3 between ISMOO and ZERATUTUTUH. Taking that first turn is going to be the Yonhong. Who are you looking to maybe boost up or strip?
That is a very fast Yonhong over there. Goes for the charge fatality. I think it is a smart move to right away go for the bomb. These Sierras these days are speed, attack on bomb damage and manage to do a good amount of damage. But can you let Provokes? Does get Provokes cross the board? Exactly what he needed at this point. Lock out that Valor. Do not give the Valor any turns, and then you might have a chance at winning.
He's going to try and cycle then through with Etna. Doesn't get it yet. Oh!
The additional turn on the Valor, giving the turn to the Han. Han being able to take out this Athena. And that will probably seal the deal for ISMOO. It is very hard to find damage on the side of ZERATUTUTUH right now.
Yeah, that one turn has just changed everything right now for ZERATUTUTUH. It's now going to be an uphill battle against ISMOO. Crazy work from Velajul, and with all of that immunity, there's no real damage coming through. Can you maybe go through the Han?
Well, I think you have to do chip damage on the skill 1. Maybe you go for stuns. That way he's trying to get some damage in by that by the dots, but we do already see an armor break landing on the wrong element. This light pony has to perform a good amount of stunts right now, but decides not to want to do that.
No, skill 3 is available. That defense break is still on the Chandra right now, and skill 2 coming in. Can you even look to get a stun and maybe take it out?
Not yet taking it out, but just a skill 1 on an armor break should definitely make that work right now. You can save the bomb. You can also just use it, but with using the bomb, you also do lose the immunity. And you would have killed it anyway, so I don't think the bomb really helped in that position. You might be stunned over here.
Big stun. Volantis needs to get back online soon. Obviously, Han is stunned out right now, and Ciara, that's going to be helping a little bit.
That is definitely going to be helping out a little bit, but you know what also helps? Charge Vitality, full HP, full attack bars, both units. Simple enough.
Yep, and the skill 2 right now can look to provide more damage into that unicorn with no skills on the Volantis yet, but a stun again.
Once again, that stun coming in, but the Volantis still has to do some miracle works. It actually did perform a near miracle on the first rotation with all of those provokes early on, but Valajul had something to say about that. In this case, do you go for the armor break? Does not manage to get the armor break though.
No, and right now, putting that counter on that unicorn is allowing them not to hit the Volantis, but he's going to have skills very soon.
Yeah, and is this pony? Oh, it had to stun once more, but it was resisted. And Valajul is taking over the match once again.
He is, but Yonhong taking that turn, going to allow Volantis. He has skills. Can he get some more provokes and stuns coming out? Is this his moment?
We need a lot of stuns, we need a lot of provokes, and we got a lot of them. We don't get it on the Han, and the Han is the core damage dealer right now. And ZERATUTUTUH knows that he can't win from this moment, which is the victory for ISMOO.